I said before, it wasn't pretty at all, but it was workmanlike. It was just solid. It was victory that's totally just rooted in hard work and just having a way of playing and sticking to it. Like it was that we had a way of sort of restricting Grimsby, just they had no opportunity to sort of work between the lines, and that we just stuck to that game plan really, really well. I totally agree with the comment that was in there about Jolly. I sort of feel sorry for him, but the game today, and so do with every game that he's plays, and I'm never quite sure what he offers. Like, is he there to be a nuisance? He always just looks to me like a player that's really, really low on confidence. I feel like he gives away too many fouls, and gets caught offside too often. And like it's yeah, I just find myself sort of wondering what he offers. And we all know Harvey Saunders has his limitations, but at least his pace is an asset. And I was surprised I felt like we really missed him in the MK Dons game, because his pace at least gives the outball, and it gives the opposition defense something to worry about. But without him, um, we were left with Jolly today, and he worked hard, but there was a point where I think Jennings found him with sort of a ball over the top, and with a better first touch, he might have got in and got a shot away. But the first shot was his first touch was just so heavy that it went straight through to the goalkeeper, and then it just felt very Jolly like in the way that happened, and then you can barely think of anything else he really sort of contributed to the game. But we still won, so maybe sort of the work he's doing off the ball is what the coaching team are pleased with. But I think that's one area that I certainly think that we could improve on, and I think that's an area that a lot of people would like us to see improve on, if not in January, then certainly over the summer.
Well, I was going to bring that up because the transfer window does close in a few days' time. And of course, please do join us for our live show that will be coming up on Thursday, where we'll be looking back on any action that is done on deadline day and just reviewing the window as a whole after those 5 players, of course, sign new permanent contracts until the end of the season on, I think it was Friday, wasn't it? None of them, granted, involved in the game at Grimsby, but they're all here to stay until the end of the season, the likes of Pike and Starbuck and Beloan, Robson as well. And Lewis Lacey, who bizarrely is not even at Tranmere. He's out on loan at, I think, Flint at the moment. So he won't be in a Tranmere shirt for the time being anyway. But Pete, you've mentioned it there. There were a few tweets that said we could get a striker in, or we should get a striker in before the window closes. I've given kind of my thoughts on this, on how hard it'll be to attract another striker in, given that Norris and Dennis are already in and the money that they must be on. But is a striker the priority before the window closes if Tranmere are to strengthen their squad?
I think if we're going to do business in these remaining 4 days, then that's the area that I would most like us to be thinking about. I think that the back 5 is pretty solid. Like I said, the picks itself. Midfield has sort of settled down. Getting Apter back was huge. But with the sort of the Norris situation, it doesn't sound like he's going to be up and running again until February at the earliest. Dennis hasn't really sort of hit the ground running at all. And Saunders was starting to make it. He's not his final product is often isn't great, but we had found a way to sort of utilize what he has in terms of making use of his pace, and we were hitting teams on the break, and he was really helping with that. He was looking effective in certain games. So to lose him as well, and then you really do see the limitations of what's behind him. That said, like a lot of people, I am still wondering what on earth is happening with Sam Taylor, who was I thought looked really sort of handy first, like in the earlier part of the season. Again, one of the few shining lights when things weren't going well. He's just sort of disappeared, and like pace is one thing that he has, and I also don't think it's all he has. So if if we don't get in a striker, I would like us to, but if we don't, I would at least like to see him being used more through the rest of the season, because I don't know why why that hasn't been happening more. And similarly with Josh Hawkes, he's someone that, given how ineffective Jolly often is, and that one of the weaknesses of Hawkes, one of the criticisms he often gets, I think fairly, is that his sort of defensive side of his game isn't the part that he loves the most. Like if he was playing more centrally, I don't know if that's something that we've sort of thought about or tried behind closed doors or anything like that, but to just not use someone that we know has a goal in him, like him, seems odd. So, I guess there's a possibility that he's on his way out, and I guess that time will tell on that on the next few days. But if he's not, and if we don't bring in another striker, I wonder whether that's something that we at least try, because Jennings has been almost a revelation in terms of how he's played this season, but we do need support for him up there, and like I say, I'm not convinced by Jolly at all. And we don't know what the Norwich situation is going to be, and I'm not entirely sure how much longer Saunders is out for. So that's certainly the area where improvements are needed in terms of whether that involves bringing someone in or making better use of what we've got. That's certainly the area that I'm most concerned about.